Alright. We are clocking in, and I'm clocked out. It's close to midnight. Let's do a deck profile on Valentina 1.0. This is Guy.
And this is Ariat.
And that is Valentina, the Princess of Love. Alright, and she just dropped it like it's hot. If you're all are wondering where Carney is, I'm on the same page. Where is she right now?
I think she's too tired to talk at the moment.
Okay, and so am I. Perfect time to do a discussion on a deck. Alright, so there she is in all of her full glory, Valentina 1.0. Just wondering at this point, which deck do you appreciate more as an actual force to be reckoned with? 2.0 or 1.0?
2.0 all the way.
Do you still think that 1.0 is viable in this day and age?
Her ability to flash stuff in is definitely a force to be reckoned with, depending on the situation, so I do think so, yes.
So, we're looking at the Magic Stone lineup here, and that is blue, 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 blue. Not much of a surprise. A pure blue deck doesn't die to splits, so at the very least, there's not that sort of worry. Although, it does limit a lot of the options that you have, since there are a lot of, different varieties. Blue, white, blue, green, even blue, red. But it seems as though she's going pure blue, and from what I recall, I did not see any deep blue the Phantom for. Do you happen to have any idea why she doesn't feel like using any other colors?
She mostly just wants to concentrate on draw power and dropping Resonators into the graveyard. That's her main strategy.
Oh, so that's why we have right here 4 copies of Night of the New Moon as her 1-drop. Yeah, we're seeing that right now. Tap to draw a card and then discard a card. I saw her doing that a lot, and throwing monsters to the graveyard, so that's interesting. Why is she interested in filling her graveyard?
Well, I guess we'll see that later on.
I guess so, because her next 1-drop is Alice's little scout, it seems. And yes, as soon as it hits the graveyard from the field, she draws another card. So we have more grave interaction there. Interesting as well. Why aren't we seeing Cheshire Cat?
Because it's too expensive.
Okay, well,
And it won't go to the graveyard.
that's true. That is true. Although it is a decent forever blocker. Now we're seeing the 2-drops here, and there is the 4 Hera. I'm surprised to see that main deck, but when you actually read the card, when this card enters your field, you may. So at the very least, it's a decent flash-in, since you don't have to destroy your own regalia if it's on the field. A couple of guys and I thought it was like that for the longest time, but, well, what do you know? So you can shoot down your opponent's Change the Worlds, or Leviathans, or whatever you call it, and kind of plus off it, I suppose. And, oh, we're seeing here 1-inch boy. I actually don't see that run very often in a Valentina deck. So it's really nice to see that, as it seems to be, with Valentina, it is instant. So it's basically a stoning to death for this deck. And, I like seeing that. That's very nice. And since I'm assuming it's probably going to hit the graveyard ASAP, just like Little Mermaid there, we're seeing more of that grave buildup. Now, I haven't been playing this game a very long time, but I have a feeling maybe I know what's coming up. So that's what we're seeing here today, is a lot of interaction, a lot of drawing and sending things to grave, and a lot of 2-drops for that flash engine. So we're seeing Hanzo here, and that's not a bad choice. Honestly, even though it is weaker, we are seeing a lot more flyers these days, and the more flyers there are, the more flying blockers a lot of decks might need, or at the very least a way to deal with them as soon as they hit board. And Hanzo isn't a bad idea, especially since as soon as she hits board, you draw a card, so at the very least she's going to replace herself. Alright, what is this? Oh, well, now we can see her main strategy here. So that card is another 2-drop, deep ones. and it gets +2/+2 for every Resonator in your graveyard. So I imagine after a certain amount of turns, Deep Ones is gigantic. How big have you seen Deep Ones before?
I believe 2600 attack was the highest.
Okay, that is... Alright, and it looks like we are on to our other game finisher, I'm assuming. So the first game finisher would be the Deep Ones. As soon as that hits field, no one's going home happy. And now we're seeing Medusa, and from what I've seen, no Valentina deck is done without Medusa. Nothing can block it that I could see. And everyone always forgets when using Medusa that you can tap blue to give her +2/+2, truly making her very strong. With Gleipnir and Shangri-La, I just can't see them having a good day now. It looks like we've moved on to the spells. We're seeing one Pot of Greed. I mean, Foresee. Just paid 2 to draw 2. I'm surprised I'm only seeing 1 here, but at the same time, I suppose she has enough draw power. So I guess going into a Foresee could either be something to drop with the Were-Rabbit or digging for answers. Now we're looking at the Regalia. Gleipnir, the Red Binding of Fate. Another standard in any deck. You want to force your opponent to swing into your Medusa. You want to convince your opponent, I suppose, that Deep Ones, smacking a 2600 Deep Ones is a good idea. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Yes, it has. I'm sure. Well, being able to use it in any other deck is nice, I suppose, but using it in either Valentina deck, my goodness, is a force to be reckoned with. And now we have probably, I'm sure, another one of the main cards, Shangri-La. The addition field that gives everything +2/+2 if you have 5 cards in hand, if I recall. Now, a lot of people underestimate this card, but like, on paper, it doesn't seem that bad, but when there are 4 or 3 or 2 on the field, that +4/+4, +6/+6 is very difficult to get over. Never underestimate the Shangri-La, folks. Never underestimate the Shangri-La. Now, as someone who lost to Valentina 1.0 yesterday, Ariad, do you ever underestimate Shangri-La?
No.
No, indeed. So it looks like we're at the end of that video. Well, that point at the very least. And there she is again, Valentina, the ruler of paradise. It has been a long night, folks. And we thank you for sticking all the way to the end. We'll have more deck videos, more duel videos, and all that other stuff coming down the pipe. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and DFTBA.
We love you.